Hi, I'm Mayor Tim Balderman, and I'd like to welcome you to this edition of Community Business Spotlight. Joining me today is Mike Scroggins from Scroggins Financial Services. Mike, thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right. Tell me a little bit about your business. What is Scroggins Financial Services?
Well, Scroggins Financial Services is a wealth management firm. We've been practicing in the Will County area for almost 4 decades now. We cater to businesses and individuals, and we are currently affiliated with Raymond James Financial Services.
Okay. And where is your business located at here in New Lenox?
Right now we're located on Cedar Road, just north of Route 30, just past the tracks. The 2 new buildings that were constructed about 3 years ago, approximately, were the first building right on Cedar that you see when you're crossing over.
Okay. Now you told us what Scroggins Financial Services is, but what services do you actually provide for people? What are some of the things that they can come to you for?
Mostly our clients, what they come looking for to work with us with are business owners that are looking to maximize their financial goals, be it succession planning, retirement planning, employee benefit plans. Also individuals that have needs for retirement, education, funding for their children, wealth management of be it accumulated assets, inheritance, things of those natures.
That's interesting. You've got a wide variety of services that you provide. You touched on it. Let's touch on a few of them. You talked about financial planning for kids that are in colleges, small businesses. In this economy, I'm assuming that you've seen your job change a little bit. People have a little less to work with, but yet it's still important that they plan for the future, correct? It's
very important, and times like these are great opportunities. Yes, we've seen, stock market declines, real estate value declines, but you still have to take advantage of this. You got to stay invested. You have to reposition for the current trends, and you can still make a lot of good happen. I'm sure it's definitely difficult out there, but with the right plan, you should be okay.
And that is important because, as I know, I've got 5 children. I have 2 already in college. I've got 2 that are going to in high school. So even though times are tough, you still need to make sure you're putting something aside for that, planning for that, because it's going to be here before you know it. And you talked about now is a good time to catch on some opportunities. Why is that? A tough economy, people might think it's a terrible time to invest, but really it's not. Why are we seeing that?
Well, the reason why everybody's cautious or concerned and think it's a tough economy for investing and don't want to do that is because obviously you've seen those declines. It's painful. But if you look back at all the prior economic declines, and we've had many of them, and we're going to have many of them going forward, but some of the most successful businesses have been started at the worst of times in the economies. There's phenomenal valuations out there to take advantage of, be it in the stock market, the real estate market. It's always hard to allocate or direct money or funds to something you've seen lose for the last 18 or 24 months, but it's the best time. The old adage of buying low and selling high occurs in these times. You buy low now.
Yeah, it's tough to find a time to buy lower than now, that's for sure. And you're right, it is all cyclical. It comes around, and fortunately, for the most part, with very few exceptions in our country's history, have we seen long periods of decline. It's been these hard hits, and then we rebound pretty nicely for a long stretch. So now is a good time to meet with someone like yourself. Absolutely. How long have you been open in New Lenox? I know you talked about 4 decades. Clearly you look younger than I am, so I know you haven't been doing it for 4 decades, but how long have you been open here in New Lenox?
We opened in New Lenox in 2007.
Okay.
We moved in at the end of 2007. Before that, we were in Joliet, and you touched on the 4 decades. My father started the practice many years ago, and that was in Joliet, and I had the practice in Joliet and made the decision to move out here back in early '07 when they were constructing those offices.
Sure. And why New Lenox? I mean, you made the move, obviously an established business in Joliet, a great city. You made the move here to New Lenox. Why New Lenox, and what is it about New Lenox that you like so much?
That's a great question. Obviously, a lot of my clients ask that. A lot of my clients were Joliet based, but over the many years that we've been in business, it has grown, branched out. We have a lot of clients in Chicago, the northwest suburbs, the southeast suburbs. And to make the decision to leave Joliet, which I'm a lifelong resident, huge fan of Joliet, I can't say enough about it. I did actually leave Joliet for a period of time, go to Chicago, did some work there, and came back. I always knew I was coming back. So my heart's still with Joliet. I'm happy, with all the progress they've made and the help they've, or the good things they've created for Will County. But looking at the opportunities for my business and the future growth, New Lenox was extremely attractive. I think it's a wonderful community, very clean community. The logistics of where it's located are a huge benefit to myself and my clients. The extension of 355, I think, is opening up tons of opportunities. And as we were speaking, probably don't see them right now, but I really believe down the road they will be coming, and everybody in the county will benefit from it.
They definitely will be here, and especially for a business like yourself. New Lenox is made up of hardworking men and women that plan for their futures. They care very deeply about their children's education. Very smart people that certainly can see the forest for the trees here and know that there will be a brighter future ahead. So that's no doubt about it. We've talked an awful lot about what you do, the services you provide. Anything else you want to add?
You know what? One thing I'd like to add: moving to New Lenox, and like you said, having a long-term business in Joliet. I'd like to stress that point. We are not a fly-by-night shop, multi-generational business. My plans to move here were a long-term plan. I still have some aspirations to eventually open an office back up in Joliet, but right now this is our main location, and we're here to stay. Hopefully, I have 2 young children. Maybe one day they might entertain the opportunity to get involved like I was able to with my father.
Well, that's fantastic, and obviously when you're talking about people's money, whether it's good times or bad, you want to make sure you've got it invested with somebody who's been around the block for a while and knows what they're doing.
True.
Well, very good. Well, thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, Mayor.
And I want to thank all of you for watching this edition of Community Business Spotlight.